Now only on 12 News, why are so many Arizona students with disabilities getting empowerment scholarships?
Our Craig Harris has been examining the rapid growth and the cost of these taxpayer-funded vouchers and is here with his latest investigation.
ESAs were initially created in 2011 to help kids with special needs who couldn't get those services at traditional schools. And there was modest growth. But when ESAs expanded in 2022 to all Arizona kids, it was easier to qualify as a student with a disability and receive much more money for home or private schooling. Today, a record number of kids with disabilities are getting over $30,000 a year. A few, 12 News Investigates found, are stockpiling leftover ESA dollars for college. There were about 7,000 kids with disabilities receiving ESAs for home or private schooling 4 years ago. Today, over 21,000. That's a 200% jump.
That is a very large increase over a very short period of time.
That's Princeton professor Jennifer Jennings. The endowed chair researches school choice.
There's lots of reasons that could be the case, right? It could be that families are actively seeking out Arizona.
Or
more people become aware of how the system works and the fact that there are incentives for kind of moving up the scale of funding that's provided.
ESA students without disabilities receive around $7,000 to $10,000 a year, while ESA kids with disabilities over $30,000 a year. This chart, based on Department of Education data, shows the dramatic growth in those large awards. However, Arizona is not seeing this kind of growth in other social programs for disabled kids.
Over the last several years, there's definitely been an increase in the number of children in Arizona that are receiving developmental disability services because they have autism. I would not classify it as a spike.
That's Arizona Department of Economic Security Director Michael Weishart.
And we've seen a steady increase, 4, 5, 6% year over year increase.
Governor Katie Hobbs said she questions the rapid ESA growth.
This is more examples of why we need guardrails and accountability. We don't do this with any other entitlement program.
To get additional ESA funding, a student must be diagnosed as having a disability, either through a local school district or a private evaluation. Love Your School Arizona is one of the biggest ESA supporters. In a webinar, one parent shared how she got her child diagnosed.
I have a child who has severe sensory processing disorder, and so we went to our MD, and you can also use a DO or a psychologist. We went to our MD. Can you write a note explaining how severe sensory processing disorder affects her educationally? They wrote it out, and I turned that into the ADE, and they changed my daughter's category from universal to a student with a disability. And it has provided her with all the materials that she will possibly need.
Jenny Clark, that organization's leader, did not respond for an interview. Today, state records show almost 21% of all ESA kids are students with a disability. District schools, 15%. 12 News Investigates found numerous ESA families with special needs kids properly use the program. However, with the growth, there is the issue of how some special needs money is spent by a few families of the 100,000 plus kids in the program. Public records obtained by 12 News found one special needs ESA family bought 3 bounce houses, purchases banned by the state. 12 News Investigates also found 24 ESA students categorized with a disability used $10,000 to nearly $68,000 in leftover ESA funds for college. Nearly all received at least one annual ESA award of $30,000 or more. The current highest ESA award is nearly $48,000 a year. Michelle Thorne is a special needs advocate. She founded Arizona Spellers Academy, a private school that receives ESA funding for kids with speaking challenges.
If a public school can't provide or won't provide the level of support that your children need, then the ESA program is a great alternative because it was designed initially for our community.
Thorne doesn't believe some ESA parents are gaming the system. Are some parents thinking, well, I can get more money if my kid's diagnosed?
I don't think that's the majority of what's happening. I know that in order to get the extra funds for an autism diagnosis, there has to be an evaluation done. And I think parents are just trying to do the best that they can to support their children.
The Department of Education said it has no research regarding the growth of students with disabilities in the ESA program. There is also no way to measure academic progress. A spokesman said, quote, "Our role is to sign up parents for accounts as those requests come in." I'm Craig Harris, 12 News.
All right, Craig, thanks. Right.